Ciao, everybody. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone live show. It is a match day nine. No, yeah, match day 9 preview. Juventus and Bologna. We're gonna go over obviously what Max Allegri's press conference was today when he had it, and we're obviously gonna go over the potential lineups going into tomorrow's match. So if you can, when you do watch this, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the bell icon to stay notified. Share the video if you want, and we will move from there. So I see 6 likes already, so that's good. That's a good start. Yeah, let's just start reading. Let's just start reading the press conference right now from Max himself. So we got the first one here. A new season starts tomorrow now. Let's not forget that we got off to a bad start. We must be aware and responsible at this moment. And when I'm reading these, it's ridiculous. I read these this morning, obviously, because I did my prep. So I can't be too shocked at what he said here, but this is shocking. This is a shocking thing to say. A new season starts tomorrow. No, bro. You're already 2-4-1. You're in a hole. I know you want to be optimistic and positive, but this is not what you said it yourself. You shut up and you don't say a word and you start. You start. It's not the beginning of a new season. Our internationals have been away from the team already for 2 weeks. So there's nothing in the meantime you could have done to change something. The only thing going off tomorrow is the only thing that's going to change maybe is if they have more energy than 20 minutes. Because I don't see any other way how we win the game tomorrow. I don't see Max Allegri all of a sudden imploring new tactics. I don't see him creating a system for both Vlahovic and Milik to thrive. I just see back to basics, mind-numbing stuff. You pass the ball out wide in a 3-5-2. You whip the ball in. You have busy guys in midfield. That's what My voice is low? How's that? Sorry about that, everyone. So we're going to go back to basics here. We're going to go back to not overthinking anything, I hope. Get the ball out wide, cross the ball in, and hope shit happens. Flood the box with people. And I don't like this quote already. To start off. It's not a new season. You are now, I think it's, because Napoli won today. Is it not 10 points? We're behind? Oops. Table. Yeah, we're 10 points behind Napoli. 7 games in. Like, what are we talking about here? New season. It's not. You're toast right now. 10 points after 8 games. The best we could be is 7 points off. It's craziness to me. We'll go on to the next quote here. I have to manage the important players as best as I can now because we will have so many games like we did yesterday's live, 12 games in 42 days. Now, however, we think about Bologna. During these 2 weeks, we have talked to each other to understand the problems and find solutions. You're lying. During the 2 weeks, your main striker was with Serbia. Your main crosser was with Serbia. McKennie went to the U.S., or I don't know where he went, where the American games were being played. You're lying. You didn't talk to them during the 2 weeks to resolve the issues at hand, the problems, and to find solutions. You might have talked to Landucci, your buddy, but what's he going to do? Nothing. I'm fed up with Max Allegri at this moment. If this is a literal quote, because I'm not even sure if this is literally what he said. I know it's just translated, but oof, he's a liar. We'll move on to the next part. We are trying to bring Juventus back to winning ways with hard work and passion, and we hope to do it in the shortest possible time. We have time to recover both in the league and the Champions League. I agree we have time to recover in the league, not to win it. We have time to recover to get top 4 in the league. Obviously, there's still 31 games left. But in the Champions League, we're toast. Yes, we play at Maccabi Haifa twice. Yes, we have the all-important away game in Benfica. But then we still have to play PSG. Our only hope at this time is that we hope PSG smacks Benfica twice. like smacks, to get their goal difference down. And then we have to go to Benfica and win at least 2-1. I don't know. Does that count still away goals in the group stage? As head to head? I don't know. But we don't have time to recover in the Champions League. If you look full or half, or not half glass full, yeah, we have a chance. But realistically, no, we don't have a chance of qualifying to the next round of the Champions League. And then in January, in February and March, if we happen to finish third in the group, we're gonna have to go to bum f you know where in the Europa League. Who knows what country we're gonna have to go to? And just adds and adds and adds to the depression we're currently in. We'll continue. Milik and Dusan can coexist. Let's try to use them in the best possible way. We have so many games. What will count is always having the right attitude and the desire to face the challenges ahead of us. Yeah. Arkadiusz Milik was our best player from the day he arrived to the international break. So you better start him just based on current form. And you can't not start Dusan Vlahovic, who costs you over 100 million euros in total. So you're going to have to find a way to work it right now. And the 3-5-2 is the way to work it. You flood the box, like I said, put balls in. You get one guy to come deep and collect the ball, and then you get the other guy who has more space to work with. So Milik comes and collects. Vlahovic, you got more space to work with. You're not as occupied from the other team. I can see it working. It's like I said, back to the basics. Maybe we need to do that. But I agree with him by him saying they can coexist. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I said, how are they ever going to play together? I didn't know we were going to go back to mind-numbing football. So this is the way it works. Next is criticism is normal, but only the pitch counts. Let's start winning again and the match against Bologna. Yeah. What else is he going to say? He's not going to, like, I was about to say he's not going to cry about it, but, like, he cried about it recently before the last game against Monza. And so this quote is kind of shit, but it's coach speak, as Justin would say. Next week, Chiesa will be able to work with the ball a little more and will start to get closer to the team again. But he will need patience before playing. Pogba hasn't run yet. The important thing is that everything is proceeding at the right pace. So we saw Chiesa practicing with the team. We heard reports saying that his knee was in tip-top shape, and we saw, this is all in the past 2 or 3 days, that he would be on the bench for Milan. That's what was reported. I have no idea if he's going to be ready. I knowing this team and following this team for the last 3 or 4 years, the medical status of players, you always got to think longer term. I think everyone knows that by now, and I'm not thinking Dybala is going to be, or not Dybala, who got hurt again, by the way, but Chiesa won't be ready. I'm so used to saying Dybala's hurt, but Chiesa he won't be ready for the Milan game. That's next Saturday. He won't be on the bench. A more realistic target would probably be the game after Benfica. So that's a couple more weeks. He'll be on the bench, not ready to start or anything. So we'll see. We'll follow that. That is the one promising piece of news that is coming out in Juventus, the Juventus circles. And it's sad that we're waiting for an injury to cure everything, basically. When, in fact, we know Chiesa last year for the first half of the season wasn't great. He wasn't thriving with Allegri in terms of outputs. In terms of on-the-field stuff, yeah, he still was explosive. He still was dribbling at his players, beating people. He just wasn't converting chances and wasn't getting the output that we saw him have under Pirlo and especially Mancini. But he is our golden boy. He is what we're holding our hats for right now in terms of the rest of the season, and I hope I'm going to be honest. I hope that he can get us out of this jam. Last quote from Max himself. Locatelli question mark. Last year he had an extraordinary championship, so he lied again. I saw that again after the break. He will be one of the pillars of Juventus. This is the most not interesting because he lied, so it's not interesting, but this is one of the most controversial statements he's made in a while. And the backtracking is crazy because, again, the day before the Monza game, he went out to a random newspaper or whatever, and he did an interview, and he said he was talking about Locatelli not even starting when everybody's healthy. He talked about Pogba, Paredes, and Rabiot. Like, Locatelli wasn't even a thing to even consider starting. And now he's coming out and saying Locatelli, last year he had an extraordinary championship. That's also a lie. He was very average, in my opinion. And then he goes on to say he will be one of the pillars of Juventus. Then play him in a position where he's going to be a pillar. Don't play him in a position where you're going to hinder what he can do on the field. Play him in a position where he will excel and grow into being a pillar of the future of Juventus. Don't make him sit back. Let him go. Let him be his own player. Let him go and attack and defend and be the number 8 that we know he is. It's just a shame that I don't believe anything Max Allegri says anymore. So doing these press conferences, reading these off, like I'm gonna comment on it. I'm gonna comment on whatever he's saying or whatever Max says, but I don't believe any of it. He could literally tell me Bremer's playing center back tomorrow. I wouldn't believe him. I would want to see it with my own eyes tomorrow. And by the way, we're doing a watch along. Well, by we, I'm saying me. So I'm skeptical of everything what Max Allegri says during these press conferences. I don't take anything into consideration. Like I said, if he says Bremer's a center back tomorrow, I don't believe you. I want to see it with my own eyes. So him saying Locatelli is one of the pillars of Juventus, you're a liar because 3 weeks ago, you said Rabiot, Paredes, and Pogba are the midfielders. Let's read some of the comments here because that's the end of his press conference that we took anyway. Joseph Carballo says, unfortunately, he's not going to be in that position against Bologna. Yep, he's going to be registered, and we'll get to that. Passa 1G saying Locatelli is 40 million euros and he's not starting. The Juventus project, ladies and gents. Yep. The coach himself said that, by the way. So that's why you just can't believe anything he says. Del Juve Piero saying you can't thrive under a manager with no clear plans and ideas. It's just a shit show. You kind of feel bad for the players. Absolutely. I used to crap on a lot of the players. I'm still gonna crap on some like McKennie, Quadrado, Alexandre, and some of the other players. You can definitely crap on. You can definitely do it. But players that you know have the ability, like a Vlahovic who scored 20 plus goals in Serie A last year. Like Locatelli, who's done very well in a Serie A midfield. International level, he's done very well and excelled. Chiesa was a baller before Allegri came back. Like, those players, I feel bad for. Those are the players I feel bad for. But some of the other players who are just shit, I don't feel bad for. So, Del Juve Piero, you're right to an extent. Crazy Ray saying, just want to see Rabiot, Paredes, and Locatelli. Yeah, that's what I want to see tomorrow. But again, we'll get to how we're setting out tomorrow shortly. I'm just gonna read a few more of the comments here, and then we'll get into it. But that's our best midfield without Paul Pogba, Rabiot, Paredes, and Locatelli. If that's your 3-man midfield, especially tomorrow in a 3-5-2, I like it. I'm going to have to like it because that's the best we got. But, yeah, I like that. I like the way we're setting out there. And then Justin Foles saying, at least Inter lost today. Yeah, great. They played harder teams, to be honest. And I don't really care what Inter does. If they're relegated, great. If they're second, I hate that, but whatever. I don't even know where they are in the league. I think they're 2 points ahead of us with the game extra played. So are they 4-4? Yeah, it sucks. They're shit. Yeah, it's my dog snoring. He's right here on my lap. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's his press conference. Your dog is a mood. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna put him over here. Yeah. Say hi to everyone first. There he is. So I'm not lying to you. So yeah, he's snoring, and when we do the watch along tomorrow, he's probably gonna be snoring during that. So there you go. Okay, let's get into the Bologna lineup to start things off at least, because what I do when I do match previews, I look at the other teams' last 11 that was put out, and then I will go based off that, because I don't follow Bologna. I don't follow Bologna insiders. I could not give you one lick of information about what Bologna how they're gonna set up tomorrow. So we're going to press the schedule. We're going to look at their previous game. So they lost to Empoli in their last match. And this is how Bologna set up last match. In a 4-2-3-1 with Thiago Motta now the coach. They got Skorupski in net, who's always good against Juventus. Then they got Juventus loanee, obviously Cambiasso, playing left back, not left wing back. He's just playing straight up left back. Some dude named John Lukumi, no idea who that is, from Colombia, center back. Partnering him was Stefan Posch and Di Silvestri. Yeah, he's always been there. Yeah, he's old, 34 years old, playing right back. Then in the midfield, Gary Medel still plays. I can't believe it. But Gary Medel and Jordi Schutten are the midfield two, double pivot. Then they got Orsolini, Soriano, Barrow across the front three, and obviously Arnautovic in attack. Now, if we can't, we should have done this against Monza, we should have done this, but we have Locatelli and Rabiot ready to rock tomorrow. We have, and whoever plays between McKennie, Paredes, and whoever else. I feel like if we can't win that midfield battle, which I'm skeptical because I have no idea if we're going to do that, but if we can't win that, then there's an issue. And we already know there's an issue, but tomorrow could be the last straw, in my opinion. How could you go into match day 9 against Milan next Saturday with a record of 2-4-2, losing to Monza and Bologna? Just objectively speaking, when you look at that stuff, Bologna's already made a coaching change, and it's Bologna. How have they made a coaching change but Juventus hasn't yet? It's just, it blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. Anyway. Now on to the Juventus lineup that was reported by Giovanni Albanese. Let's get back into it. Where's his tweet? Wish Ali set me up with a tweet. Giovanni Albanese's tweeted, the predicted lineup for tomorrow is a 3-5-2, like I said. Bonucci, Bremer, Danilo as the center backs. De Sciglio and Kostic as the wing backs, obviously. This is his report. This is Giovanni Albanese's report. McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot in midfield. Now, how McKennie is still starting games blows my mind. Thank goodness Cuadrado's not starting, but how is McKennie still starting matches? Does he think Paredes needs a rest because of the international break or whatever? I don't know. Moretti's obviously raring to go. He's at full training this week. So why is he not starting ahead of McKennie? I just don't know. I just don't know. How does McKennie's starting place? How is it justified here? He has been crap all season. Yet he gets another start, and Paredes is fit. Moretti's fit. And then the two up top, obviously we know who they are. Milik, Vlahovic. How can Max Allegri, after the international break, say, hey, and by the way, Locatelli and Rabiot both didn't go to the national teams, so they should be ready to rock. Moretti came back early, and apparently he's fit, so he should be ready to rock. I understand Paredes, because he was across the pond. And I see 2 comments here. 3, because Joseph said, yeah, McKennie's doo-doo. Yeah, he has been doo-doo. Del Juve Pro saying, McKennie also started last season terribly, but by October, November, he was one of our best players. Okay, but we don't have that time. We can't. And then going off to Khalid saying McKennie needs game to get into it. Okay, we can't afford to give a dude like games to get into it. A professional player doesn't need months to get into the season. I don't want to hear, oh, McKennie just needs game time. No. I want a player ready in August. I want a player ready to rock in September. I don't want to wait till November. I want to give a player games, especially McKennie games. If it's Chiesa coming back from injury, yeah, do that. But McKennie, no. There should be some sort of standard saying, oh yeah, if you're not at this level, you should not be playing. You should not be getting starts. So, if you got Paredes sitting on the bench tomorrow with Moretti and McKennie starting, and my eyes are bleeding tomorrow during the watch along, I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna be yelling into this microphone, and I'm gonna again. He's asking for a sack at this point, Allegri. He's asking for a sack. So, there you have it. Those are the 2 reported lineups. Well, not reported. The Juventus ones reported from Albanese. The Bologna ones from their last match. I have no idea how they're going to line up tomorrow. I could search through social media, but I don't think I'm going to find Romeo Gresti for Bologna. What are people saying in the chat here? Del Juve Pierre saying he's obviously not good enough to be a starter, but I still have some hope for him. But what hope do you have for him then? I don't understand the hope. If he's not a starter, he's not coming off the bench to do anything. Again, if we're chasing games and we send McKennie on to go fill the box, I get it. But we can definitely improve on McKennie. We can sell McKennie and bring another player who's just able to pass the ball 5 yards. And that's already an improvement. Imagine that. Imagine at Juventus Football Club, getting a guy to replace another guy that can make a pass at 5 yards is an improvement. Anyway, Joseph saying, I hope to everything beautiful. Allegri doesn't force start Chiesa. Yeah, we don't. We talked about that yesterday, Ale and I. I'm scared for Chiesa how they're going to handle it. Khalid saying benching Paredes for Locatelli is kind of sus. Do you think they have beef? Khalid, let me know who has beef. Paredes and Locatelli have beef, because them not starting together doesn't have anything to do with them in particular. Mike Roch. That's funny. Mike R saying Rabiot hides from the ball. Talk about him. Okay, I will talk about Rabiot. He's been actually one of our better players this season. Does he want the ball all the time? No. Does he have a work rate when he wants to have a work rate? Yes. I at this moment in time, I need Rabiot to start. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need that to happen. So, is somebody knocking on my door? No, we'll move on. Yeah, Rabiot, I need him to start. That's how far we've fallen at this point too. When we're fit and healthy, Rabiot was never a part of my starting midfield, but now he is. Just purely on everyone else being crap. So I hope Rabiot starts, and I'm pretty sure he will be. But I don't want Locatelli to play as a regista. I want Paredes to play as a regista, and I want Locatelli on the right hand side of midfield. Shiljaman saying reports say that PSG is interested in buying Vlahovic in the future. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure Real Madrid might. I'm sure Bayern Munich will look into it. I'm sure these teams will look into him. Why wouldn't they? He's a good player. And especially in a team that attacks, and he'll just convert chances. It makes sense why Bayern Munich or PSG or Real Madrid will want him. Okay, timeout. I just saw a comment saying McKennie is like Dybala. Explain that one, PAS1G. Explain that McKennie is like Dybala one, because that's kind of weird. Del Juve Pro saying it is pretty nuts that Allegri is putting all his hope on Chiesa, who's coming back from an ACL tear, and a Pogba that is always injured. It's like when a very bad person thought miracle weapons would save him. The fact that you're comparing to Allegri to that person is kind of funny, and kind of telling. Khalid is saying Allegri is going to play his defensive game now that Locatelli and Rabiot are back. Yeah, I'm not expecting any offensive flair tomorrow. I'm expecting get the ball out wide, cross it in. It's not offensive. It's not attacking. It's just it's mind numbing. It's boring stuff. It's get the ball out wide, overload the back post, cross the ball in, get bodies in the box. I don't know how else to explain it. That's what I think is going to happen tomorrow, and I hope we get some garbage goals, because that's what we're going to need to win tomorrow. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle because we don't have the attacking know-how. Shilly saying, true, but I just hope that Vlahovic doesn't become the sacrificial lamb at the end of the season. If Juventus doesn't reach the top 4, money is already a problem. Yeah, he might, he might want to go out. That's my point. We have no idea. It's very early in the Serie A season. If things continue down this trajectory where Vlahovic is only having one goal in open play this year and he's struggling for service, I don't see him wanting to stay. This is what I said about De Ligt last year. I said the exact same thing about De Ligt at this particular time last year. Sorry if you guys hear snoring again. My dog's back. And I called it. And Alejandro and other people were saying, oh, De Ligt's going to sign. He's talking good stuff in the media. He's professional. Yeah, but now you see how he really felt when he's at Bayern Munich. You see how he really felt about the club. Vlahovic can say, oh, I'm going to fight to the very end, and he's going to put that Instagram post now as a Juventus player. Sure, of course, do that. And then when he leaves, and he asks to leave, everyone's going to be in shock again, but I'm not. What top player wants to stay at this kind of club right now? Unless you're Italian, and you're making good money. What, why would Dusan want to stay at this moment in time? If stuff gets better and perhaps Allegri's fired and a new coach comes in and then he's obviously scoring, then we'll see. I also don't know if Vlahovic is obviously going to ask after a year and a half to leave. Maybe he might. But for his own sake, this is not a good situation for him. If we're being actual fans of the game, this is not a good situation for Vlahovic to be in. We'll see if Milik can give him some pressure or get him out of some pressure, so he's not the lone man up top chasing down balls that he's never going to get to, doing a graveyard shift. Maybe. But at the same time, if it doesn't work out and the season continues the way it is, I don't blame him for wanting to leave if he wants to leave. If PSG come calling, hey, yo, Dusan, you want to come play with Messi, Mbappe, Neymar? Who says no to that? Real Madrid says, hey, you want to come replace Benzema and do what he's been doing? Who? Bayern Munich, you want to be the next Lewandowski? Like, think about it. Think about it for a sec. Do you want to be the next Lewandowski? Do you want to win Champions Leagues with Real Madrid and play with Vinicius Jr., who's 20 years old and a phenomenon, and Rodrigo Goyes, who's doing absolutely better, or he's improving all the time, plus the three midfielders? Oh, our funny guy, Dave, Manchester United fan, thinks they're going to get Vlahovic. That's funny. The midfield from Real Madrid, Camavinga, Valverde, Tchouaméni. Like, Real Madrid calls, she's saying yes. It's quite obvious. Mike R is saying if we lose against Lunchmeat FC, Dusan is definitely leaving. I wouldn't say definitely because it would be only match day 8, and I would say around the midway point of the season, into the 20-ish games of the season, we'll see where he's really, how he's going to really feel. Because I had the feeling, when did I first said in October or November when I first said De Ligt was leaving. 100%. I think it was November. And then imagine if he bangs at the World Cup, quite a few amount of goals, his price rises, his stock rises, and he still asks for a move. Juventus is going to sell him, and we don't make top 4, we're going to sell him. So, let's not talk Dusan doom and gloom yet. Again, we're 7 games into the season, so hold on right now. I am scared for that, though. It's not quite like De Ligt all over again, but it's going down that path. I'm going to do the predictions in about 12 minutes. Whoever, I can't read that name, sorry. Hanin saying, I see him pushing for a move in the summer. I think I just gave my spiel about that. Shilly saying that is true. De Ligt got a lot of backlash as a young player. It is a similar situation. Yep. And then Khalid is saying, I see him as a Real Madrid player next summer if things keep going this way, especially if we get positive results and he isn't scoring much. That could be a factor as well. Maybe we win games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Milik gets a goal off a header. Midfielders pop up and score a goal. Maybe the back post wing back scores, and Vlahovic isn't touching the ball, not scoring, and not contributing. Then maybe he's also sold. I don't know. Let's not talk about that though. Khalid Ben Jamil is saying, why is Agnelli just doesn't sell the club? Because obviously it's not a profit-making club, and also fans losing their head on Agnelli family. Do you see any future sale of the club? No. Nope. I don't see him selling at all. It's his project. It's his not his baby. It's his. Exor will always hold the company. It's not literally owned by Agnelli himself. So if he wanted to sell it, he would have to go to John Elkin and the people at Exor to actually sell it and formalize a sale. I don't see that happening. Also because it's probably at its lowest, like, it in terms of how much the club's value is, it's not where it could probably be at this moment in time. So I don't see Exor selling the club anytime soon. Firing a coach? No. I don't see it either. Dave wants Vlahovic for Martial and some cash. Pasa 1G is saying we have Kyle George. Yeah, as an injury medical bill. That's who he is. That's who Kyle George is. Shilly saying, what is up with Moretti? What is his injury update? He practiced all week. Or whenever we came back to training, he practiced all week. And he should be on the bench tomorrow. He should be on the bench ready to go. Jerry Girardi saying, it's a situation where we have to lose to win. Allegri is a cancer that's metastasizing in the board and the dressing room. Only losing will get him gone. How much losing do we need for him to be fired? Let me ask that. Whoever's watching, 27 people in here. I know it's a weird time that we're doing a live, but drop a like if you haven't already. How many more losses do we need for Allegri to be fired? I think I asked this. We'll do it again. We'll do what we did yesterday again. Like I said, 27 people in here. We have 12 games until the World Cup in these next 6 weeks. When is he fired? What is worst case scenario that he's fired? Don't say 0-12. Like say if we're knocked out of the Champions League and we are 12 points out. Is that fireable? I think that's fireable. I think that's horrible. That's like almost rock bottom. But if we're 12 points out of a first place in the league and we're third place in Champions League, is that sackable? Like it better be, but I'm asking you guys. Unity Toki says, I've got Juventus left on a bet, return 600, cash out 300. Oh. That's the last game you have? Oof. Unity Toki, I'm going to say let it ride for now. Since it's the last game, you always let it ride until you see something bad happening in the game. So watch the first 10-15 minutes. Get a good vibe and grip of how the game's going, and let it run from there. That's what I do when I'm betting and I have one game left. Let's say on my parlay. Bernardo Silva saying after the second game against Maccabi Haifa, why you think we're gonna lose that? I think those are going to be saving grace games. Khaled is saying, until we don't have money, Allegri isn't going to be fired. Also, we don't have any better options out there. De Zerbi had a great game against Liverpool and definitely missed on him. Mike R. saying, nothing less than 6 points against Maccabi and winning at Bologna, drawing Milan. Okay, so in the short term, after these next 4 games, you expect 6 points in the Champions League out of 6 and 4 out of 6 in the league. That's expectations. If we don't get that, he should be fired is what you're saying. Interesting. I kind of agree, to be honest. I kind of agree. Khalid is saying, nah, you bet 600, you win 300 if you win. I got Juve at 1.5 if they win. Okay, Dave Corcoran is saying, I'm a Man U fan, but the Italian team I've always liked is Juve. Sad to see similarities between us. Yep, big similarities. And Juve at the moment, both are powerhouses of our country, and both been managed and coached badly for too long. I think you guys are getting out of yours because you guys got a competent coach, and you guys have a lot more money to spend. You have the luxury of spending 100 million on Antony. We don't have that luxury. So, yes, you guys were in a bad spot because of coaching and previous buys. But with this new coach, Ten Hag, telling your board to buy Antony, and he has a say in transfers, that's going to get you out of what you're currently in, and you can already see what's happening. Man United will become good in a year or two. Juventus, we have no idea about the future. We have none. No idea. We have no idea when the coach is going to get fired. If he does get fired, we have no idea financially who we can buy next. At least at Man United, you have a good amount of money to spend, and you spend it. So be happy. Yeah, people are giving Maccabi credit. They scored a goal against PSG. I get it. Anything can happen on a Champions League night, but you got to beat PSG or Maccabi. Jerry Girardi saying, it's Allegri we were talking about. We made history giving Monza their first historical win in their first Serie A season. Like I said, I would lose every game till he's gone and reboot. Yeah, fair. And people are going to be like Jerry, who are just completely done. They're just completely done and over. I'm completely done and over Allegri. I'm not completely done, and I don't think we need a reboot. I think we need a new coach. With these players, it will be fine. But we just need a new coach. I don't think we need a complete reboot. Sorry, again, I can't read your name out. In your opinion, who is the best coach for Juventus at the moment? If I had the free reign of anybody in the world, I would take the Sporting Lisbon coach because it's modern, it's something different, and he's not scared to go attack teams. And he has a good track record in Europe for what he has at his disposal. And he has player development under his belt. He made that Marcus Edwards guy very good. His two midfielders playing for him are very good. They got right center back that's very young, very good. Like he's brought up, I can't remember the name. I think Ignacio or something, but he's developed players. His philosophy is nice to watch. It works in Europe and in league play, and he's young and modern. That's the type of guy we need. Dave Corcoran saying, we haven't won a league for a decade, even with all the money. Incompetence at the top rots the club from top to bottom. Absolutely. And I know that your AVI glazes out. I know what that's all about. They take money from the club. They use it for their own personal gain. Yada, yada, yada. I get it. Juventus doesn't do that. But they don't spend their money wisely either. As you know, that one particular graphic that came out from like Transfer Daily News or whatever, Man United has overspent 238 million euros over the past 10 years on players, over what they're valued at, and we spent over 234 million. So it's not even better. It's 4 million euros better. So we are in a very similar position. I lost my track. Pass is saying maybe Italiano from Fiorentina. They've played so easy and not overthinking, and Vlahovic scored easy. That when I did my maybe like last Monday or a couple Mondays ago, the first Monday of the international break, I went over coaches, and I had Italiano at the very top of my list just because of what he did with Vlahovic. And that's like the only reason why I had him near the top of my list. And obviously that he's Italian and stuff, but like, because he fits the bill. But yeah, that's a good reason. Jerry saying, I'm done with Allegri at the moment. The guy is no clue anymore, giving excuses left, right, and center. I would take anyone who isn't Allegri, even if we have to lose, because that will be good. Yeah, Jerry's done. Dave is saying Pochettino would be an upgrade on Allegri. He is, but is he the upgrade that we need or long term? He's unemployed currently and great on a small budget. And Bernardo's asking me, what sporting director would you want? Luis Campos, easy. Or Ragnick. As a sporting director, not a coach. Sporting director. Identify talent on the cheap, bring in the talent on the cheap. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. where I am. We're gonna do I'm gonna do my prediction. Now you guys can get your predictions in the chat, in the comments, and below. Remember, if you haven't already liked the video, subscribe to the channel. My score prediction is gonna be very, very boring and not easy because I think we're gonna draw 0-0 tomorrow. we're gonna try and revert to 3-5-2 and cross the ball in. I just think they're gonna sit back and eat it up, and we're not gonna get a bounce going our way. So I think tomorrow's result will be 0-0. Does that put any more pressure on Allegri? I don't think so. He'll say it was a good point to get, and I'll say you're a liar again on stream during the live, and I will, and we'll go from there. So yeah, get your score predictions in the comments below, and I'll read some out, and we'll move on from there because I have to bring my dog to a spa appointment. So we're gonna wrap it up shortly. So Dave Corcoran saying 2-1 Juventus. Bernardo saying 2-1 loss. Pass is saying 2-0 easy win. Joseph Carballo saying I saw draw 1-1. I hate the first few minutes. We're gonna look good, then score, and then get scared. Okay, get scored on for sitting back. Jerry saying 2-1 loss. Bologna are gonna score first, then we're gonna score purely on individual brilliance. But we play shit in the second half, and Arnautovic scores the killer goal that hopefully will get that fucker out of there. Khalid saying 1-1. Anas saying 2-0. Yeah, so 2 people have predicted a win out of like 8. One's not even a Juventus fan. Well, he likes Juventus as a secondary club after Man United. So that's really funny. Wayne Brewster saying, I want to see the day Juventus hire a coach other than an Italian. The only time we did that was when we went to Serie B, and that was because Deschamps played for the club. That wasn't even because he was French. It's because he played for us before. So there you go. So yeah. Shilly saying 5-0 Juventus win. Optimism. Is that optimism or is that something you're eating? Something that you're eating is giving you some hallucinogens. Kevin Camilleri saying Juventus versus Bologna 2-1 for Juventus. Okay, so we got more wins in the predictions. And Boo thinks we're gonna draw as well because he'll be snoring the whole time during the watch along. So again, I'm going to plug in that. Tomorrow, we're going to start the watch-along at 2:30, so 15 minutes before kickoff. I will be back on here, ready to rock, watching the game. I think I might put a jersey back on. I haven't worn a jersey on this channel since we lost to Benfica. It's a bit of a protest for myself, but I think I might put one on tomorrow just for the watch-along's sake. So tune in for that. 15 minutes before the game starts, tune in here. We'll go over everything, starting lineups, what you need to know, and I'll just talk about the game. I think I might be by myself. If not, Justin might. Justin's Alice percentage is 20%. Justin comes and joins me. I might get my cousin to come and join me. I'm not sure yet. He likes to watch NFL football, though, so we'll see what he's doing. But for that, okay, I'll answer Jerry's last question. I would not take Francesco Guidolin. I remember what Udinese did that time, 10 years ago. I get it, but we need modern coaches. We need younger coaches. We need a younger mind conducting our players that we have right now. So with that, thank you all for watching. If you're watching on the replay, on the watch back, like the video. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you at 2:30 tomorrow. Ciao, everybody.